They say discipline is the key to power, but what if it's also the perfect tool for manipulation? Discover how institutions, norms, and values suppress our natural instincts and mold us into obedient subjects, willingly handing over our autonomy. Prepare to confront the disturbing truth. Discipline isn't always about freedom. Sometimes it's about refined subjugation. What exactly are discipline and power when we talk about them in psychology? Discipline is often seen as self-control, the ability to stick to goals and resist distractions. It involves training, habit formation, and following rules. Power, on the other hand, is the capacity to influence others, to control resources, and to enforce decisions. But here's a crucial point. Discipline isn't always about personal freedom. Institutions, like schools and workplaces, play a big role in shaping our discipline. Think about it. Schools have rules, routines, and systems that teach us to be punctual, obedient, and compliant. Workplaces have hierarchies, regulations, and performance standards that dictate our behavior. These institutions often use rewards and punishments to enforce discipline. Good grades, promotions, and bonuses are incentives to conform. Detentions, demotions, and firings are consequences for non-compliance. This system creates power dynamics where some individuals or groups have more authority and control than others. Leaders, managers, and supervisors have the power to direct and oversee the work of subordinates. Governments create laws and regulations that constrain citizens. This isn't inherently bad. Structure and order are needed for society to function. However, discipline can also be used for manipulation and control. The psychology of power is complex. Those in positions of power often strive to maintain their dominance through various means. They might use coercion, manipulation, or even subtle forms of sway to influence others. This can lead to ethical concerns, particularly when power is abused. Consider the historical examples of regimes that used propaganda and suppression to maintain control. The abuse of power can lead to oppression, tyranny, and the denial of basic human rights. On the other hand, discipline can be a tool for challenging existing power structures. Acts of defiance, protest, and rebellion are often driven by a desire to liberate oneself from oppressive systems. The fight for social justice and equality often involves challenging norms, values, and expectations that perpetuate inequalities. Resilience, pushback, and counteraction are essential components of resisting unjust power dynamics. Ultimately, the relationship between discipline and power is a constant struggle. It's about finding a balance between order and freedom, between individual autonomy and social responsibility. Understanding the psychology of discipline and power can help us navigate this complex landscape, empowering us to make informed choices and challenge unjust systems. So we've explored how discipline and power intersect, revealing how institutions shape our behavior and how power dynamics influence our lives. We've seen that discipline can be both a tool for self-improvement and a means of social control. However, this exploration leaves some questions unanswered. For instance, how does culture influence our perception of discipline and power? How do different cultural norms and values shape our understanding of authority, obedience, and resistance? Furthermore, what are the psychological consequences of prolonged exposure to environments characterized by either excessive control or extreme freedom? These are just some of the questions that remain open for discussion and future research. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Your support helps us continue exploring the fascinating world of psychology and its impact on our lives.